everyone, hope you're doing well. So in this video I want to go over just the program I've given you, basic principles, terminology of training, just to help you so when I tell you something in a program, you actually know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you do, but I just thought I'd better break it down a little bit for you guys. Also, I'm going to go a little bit more about my journey with training as well, and just my recommendations. So basically, you always want to warm up. So warm up with at least 2 to 5 little warm up sets, and you don't want to go to failure, because if you go to failure, you're going to put a lot of pressure on your tendons and your connective tissue, and potentially you will tear them. So definitely warm up with that. You've then got muscle groups, so like chest tries, triceps. I should stop saying tries, but triceps, back biceps. You've got and they generally work together. So with a pushing exercise, you're going to use your tricep always. With a pulling exercise, you're going to use your bicep. It even goes down to a deadlift. You're going to use more of your bicep because that's more of a pulling motion. So you either got pushing or pulling. And the little isolates, so like the biceps and triceps, work together with that. So I'm going to go over what an isolate is as well in the video. But without getting too technical, with the workout that I've actually given you, the 3-day workout in 3-day training program, that is an intermediate program. So that's not suited for someone who's just started, I suppose, because at the end of the day, if you train to failure and you've never done training, you're gonna injure yourself. If you do a pull up, generally, it's taken me a few years to get to a pull up level. You're gonna injure yourself. So this is not for someone who's just started out. Even though I kind of said that in the video, generally it's not. Although it's body weight, I would probably recommend someone who's had a little bit of training background with this. Alright, so you've got sets and reps. So I want to go over that a little bit as well. So a set, no, actually we'll start with reps, sorry. So a rep. So say I've got 15 repetitions in an exercise. Say I'm doing a push-up, so I've got to do 1, 2, 3, this is just an example, to 15, yeah? So that's what repetitions are. So if I do 15 repetitions in a push-up, then what it's going to look like is this. So I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to come down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, yeah? So that's the example, got a little workout, that's the example of repetition. So that's one. If that's 15 reps, it's one set. So what a set is basically once you perform the repetition, so it's 15, then that's one set. So if I say 3 sets, then you want to do that 3 times. Cool. Also with body parts, I've broken it down, so chest and tries, because when you do a pushing movement, you're using your triceps. So that's why I've done chest with triceps, back with biceps, and then legs with shoulders. I've broken it down like that. The example of that program, again, this is just an example, is you would do Monday, back and biceps, Tuesday rest, Wednesday you would do chest and triceps, and then Saturday you do legs and shoulders. But you can do it any way you want, as long as you get it in. And that's a big part of it, I found, with training, is just getting it in. You know, like you could have the smartest program, but if you don't actually do the routine, you're not in a routine, sorry, and you're not doing the exercises, then you're not gonna get the results at all. So that's a big part. So in my next videos, I'm going to break it down for a newbie, someone who's got no training history, full body, 2 days a week, and just to get into training, just to get the routine. Now, there's a lot of things about what rep range should I do for this and that, and in my experience, it doesn't really matter too much. The only aspect is safety. So if you're doing 15 rep range, 12, that's what you should be starting off if you're a newbie, because you're going to build all your connective tissue, all your strength and everything pretty much. You don't want to go into a heavier sort of exercise, say like 6 reps, because you're going to put a lot of pressure on your tendons and your central nervous system, and you're not going to have the motor units recruitment there to be able to do that exercise as well, which I don't want to get too technical into it because it's just going to confuse you. But yeah, so anyone new, start off with a higher rep range, and for at least 6 months, build everything up nice and good, and that's it. So we're going to get into what a compound exercise, because I said that in the video, I was like compound. So what a compound exercise is an exercise that uses more than 2 joints. So if I'm doing a bench press, using my shoulder joint and my elbow joint, using even my wrist joint a little bit to stabilize, but I'm using more than 2 joints, so it's a compound. What's the benefit of a compound, you might ask? Benefit of a compound is basically using more muscle mass, more of your body. If I do an isolate bicep curl, that's using 1 joint, yeah? So what that is, it's not burning as much calories because I don't have to use as much of my body to be able to use that maneuver. So that's why I recommend compound, and that's the difference between a compound and an isolate. Again, it does with my training, it does with training in general. People get too wound up on the technical stuff. It doesn't actually matter. Again, what matters is getting in and doing it. And I've seen this in my life. Like when I first started training, I was 55 kilos. I was 18. I weighed nothing. So there's different body types as well. Again, it doesn't really matter, but you've got ectomorph, which is what I am. Skinny guy, fast metabolism, doesn't put on muscle mass, overtrains very easily. You've got endomorph, which is a short, fat, stumpy guy, round figure that puts on muscle mass very easy, finds it hard to shred, lose weight. Then you've got in between that, which is a mesomorph, freak of nature. Everyone wants to be the mesomorph. And that's just a guy that puts on muscle mass just by looking at a dumbbell very easily. Low body fat. Without getting too technical and think, oh shit, I'm not this, I'm an endo or whatever, it doesn't even matter. The point is, it's all hard for us to put on muscle mass. So, and you can change your body type, don't worry about that. I just thought I'd throw that in as well. You've got time under tension, which is a key factor, which is relative to reps. So people might do 15 reps, but that's not, it doesn't really matter, because say I do a pull-up and I do it for 80 seconds. I only get 5 slow 80-second reps out, being time under tension. Say I do 15 reps, at 60 seconds. Which one do you reckon is going to be better? The one that is actually 80 seconds, 5 reps, slow, that's time under tension. So time under tension equals reps. And that gets underlooked a lot. So just remember that. Don't worry too much about the reps. It's more about getting that time under tension for muscle growth. You've also got, so you've got that, and you've also got like, so rest periods. So with say 15 to 12 reps or 15 reps, this is just a textbook style rest range. You want, so 15 reps, you want 30 seconds. 60 seconds for 12 reps. For 10 reps, you want 90 seconds and even more. Then you get to 6 reps, where you want at least 2 to 3 minutes. You get any below that, you want 5 minutes generally. So it's all relative. Say I'm doing the program, I'm doing the pull-ups, chin-ups, and say I get to 4 reps, then you've got to have 5 minutes rest. If you're going to failure, even more so, because when you go to failure, you're taxing your central nervous system. and all your electrical system in your body pretty much. So you need to let that reboot. So that's why. Otherwise, you're not going to get the quality reps out. You're not going to get the time under tension. So having the rest is definitely you need to take that. Also, I've found with training that people are focused, like they'll do 6 days a week. They'll train so hard all the time. They'll never have a rest. So every 8 weeks, take a week off and do nothing. I've been doing that since I was 18. I'm now 35. So I've been doing that for a good 17 years, and I've lasted. I've seen a lot of people when they're training. What they'll do is they'll go mad for 7 days even, train train like a beast. 6 months later they're not training. More so, like they'll be training hard even for like 5, 10 years, and then they do an injury or they just stop training. The key is to be able to train for the rest of your life. This is my perspective. Train for the rest of your life. So if you do 3 days a week or even 2 days a week, but you keep it consistent for the rest of your life, you're going to have better results than someone that just does 7 days a week and lasts 6 years, 6 months, 6 days. A lot of my clients, I've trained them. I've tried it. The hardest thing is getting them into a routine. Once you're in a routine, you're sweet. That's my advice. Get in a routine. So there's no point like saying, yeah, look at all these results I'm getting, and then what, you stop, and then you go back to put on fat on, you start getting overweight, and it's harder for you to get back to where you were. You've taken a million steps backwards to get to that point again. Whereas if you're just going consistently like this for your whole life, 3 days a week, 3 days a week, 3 days a week, in your 60s you're going to look like a beast. So it's not about looks, but it's about fitness. You're going to have fitness over someone who doesn't. The benefits of strength training is you're going to have a lot more muscle mass. That is your metabolism. You're going to burn a lot more calories. You're going to have a lot more bone strength, which is important for life. You fall over, you've got strong bones, you're not going to break your bones. These things, also mental health. Mental health is a big one. Training has helped me with a lot of mental health. Keeping me strong, keeping me positive, keeping me young. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. I'm 35 and I feel the best I've ever felt in my life because another thing. So training is good, but then you want to get into diet. Diet takes a lot longer to get in a routine. It's very hard. So what I would say with that is ease into your diet. Don't just go cold turkey and say, I'm not going to eat any carbs forever and I'm going to go into a full-blown diet, because you won't last. Treat it like the training. Slowly implement these changes in your diet. Eat some bad food, but majority, 80% of it, should be good food. It takes time to get there. People think they can just go into, I'm going to eat the best meals, the best diet, and not relapse. You're gonna relapse. So better off starting off slow, transitioning to get into the routine of eating healthy, and maintaining that. And once you get to a point where I love I love eating healthy. And it's not even a part of eating healthy; it's just a part of eating. But it's taken me, a long time to get to that routine. I'd say even a good 6 years of training was to get to that point. I'd even say longer. 10 years. Like, when I was 25, I was drinking. I don't drink now. I was drinking, I was eating terrible, and my diet wasn't that good. And I actually look at photos, I look older when I was 25 and fatter. So now I don't drink, I eat healthy, and it's taken my journey to get to that point. So what I'm saying is, don't be too hard on yourself, and try and change slowly. And definitely rest is a key factor of training. The biggest part of training is rest. Rest, heal, because the body needs to heal when you're breaking down muscle tissue all the time and you're training, and also mentally. So this week I took a week off. It's probably about the 8 week range, but I don't even know. I just take a week off now because I've got the routine in place where I can take a week off and I'm itching to get back in. Whereas if you're not in a routine, you take a week off, you're not bouncing back to get in. You won't get back into it. So that's why the routine is number one. I thought I'd share that with you guys. Enjoy the program, and stay tuned for some more basic programs that I'm going to give for body exercises. Um, the reason why we're doing full body is you burn a lot more calories, and you're using your whole body, and you're also going to put on muscle mass with that as well. You know, people say you don't put on muscle mass, but put on muscle mass with all exercises that you're doing. Yeah. So thank you for watching. Have a lovely day. Big love to all of you, and yeah,